Benny's Magical Dreamland Adventure. Once upon a time, in a lush, magical forest, there was a little bunny named Benny. Benny had a fluffy white coat, long ears, and a curious heart. He loved playing with his friends and exploring the forest, but there was one thing Benny found very hard to do: fall asleep at night. One starry evening, after a long day of hopping around and munching on carrots, Benny found himself tossing and turning in his cozy bed of soft leaves. No matter how hard he tried, sleep just wouldn't come. He decided to take a walk in the moonlight to see if that might help. As Benny wandered through the forest, he saw the gentle glow of fireflies dancing among the trees. Their soft lights flickered like tiny stars, and Benny couldn't help but smile. He felt a bit calmer, but sleep still seemed far away. Benny's first stop was at Tilly the turtle's pond. Tilly was known for her wise ways and slow, steady pace. She was just finishing her nightly swim when she noticed Benny approaching.
"Hi, Tilly,"
Benny said with a yawn.
"I can't seem to fall asleep. Do you have any advice?"
Tilly looked at Benny with her kind eyes and said in her slow, soothing voice,
"Benny, when I can't sleep, I like to think of all the wonderful things I've done during the day. It helps me feel grateful and calm, and then sleep comes easily. Let's think about your day together."
As Benny wandered further into the forest, he found his friend Gigi the giraffe gently swaying as she chewed on some leaves from a tall tree. Gigi had a gentle, melodious voice that sounded like a lullaby.
"Hello, Benny.
Gigi said softly.
Why are you out so late?"
"I can't sleep, Gigi,"
Benny answered.
"I've tried thinking of my day, but nothing seems to work."
Gigi bent her long neck down to Benny's level and smiled.
"Benny, sometimes when I can't sleep, I like to tell myself a little story. It can be about anything, a fun adventure, a beautiful place, or even a dream I once had. The story helps me relax and drift off to sleep."
Benny thanked Gigi and decided to give her idea a try. He sat down in the meadow, closed his eyes, and began to tell himself a story. He imagined that he was in Dreamland, a magical place where anything was possible. In Dreamland, Benny met a friendly dragon with shimmering scales that changed colors with every hue of the rainbow. They soared through the sky, visiting candy cane forests, chocolate rivers, and gingerbread villages. As Benny continued his story, he felt more and more excited about the adventure. He felt so excited that he was even more awake than before. As Benny wandered further into the forest, he heard a gentle hooting sound and looked up to see Ollie the owl perched on a high branch. Ollie was the wisest of all the animals in the forest and had a deep, rich voice that everyone loved to hear.
"Hoo-hoo, Benny.
Ollie called down.
What are you doing out so late?"
"I can't sleep, Ollie,"
Benny replied with a sigh.
"Tilly told me to think of the wonderful things I did today, but it's not working."
Ollie fluffed his feathers and hooted gently.
"Benny, sometimes when I can't sleep, I take a few deep breaths and imagine I'm floating on a soft, fluffy cloud. I let the cloud carry me wherever I want to go, and before I know it, I'm fast asleep."
Benny thought this was a wonderful idea. He found a comfortable spot beneath Ollie's tree, closed his eyes, and began to breathe deeply. He pictured himself on a soft, fluffy cloud, drifting through the sky. He imagined the cloud taking him over the forest, above the mountains, and across the sea. As Benny floated on his imaginary cloud, he saw all kinds of magical sights. He imagined flying over a sparkling waterfall, gliding through a valley filled with flowers, and even visiting a castle made of candy. As Benny floated on his imaginary cloud, he saw magical sights and felt himself becoming more relaxed. The gentle swaying of the cloud and the calming rhythm of his breathing helped him feel at peace. Soon, Benny's breathing became slower and more even. His eyes fluttered shut, and he fell into a deep, restful sleep right there beneath the stars. He dreamed of floating through soft, fluffy clouds and visiting wonderful places, feeling happy and safe. 1. Which animal does Benny meet first? 2. What does Benny imagine after speaking to Gigi? 3. Who finally helps Benny fall asleep? Have you ever had trouble sleeping?